So we are going to see these three different algorithms, okay, for searching for a pattern in a text. So pattern is going to be represented as P, and the text which is from which you have to identify this particular pattern. Pattern is nothing but a substring. Okay, whether the substring is going to be available in the given text consisting of several strings. Okay, so the first method is basic method, that is brute force method. So let me know what is brute force method. So we have a basic algorithm for doing this brute force. Okay, so let me consider I have a string. Okay, it's going to be the text T. The text is going to be A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, so this is going to be the text I'm going to have. The pattern that I'm going to search for is D, E, F. So how the searching will actually work? Okay, so we'll consider this with some numbering 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is going to get iterated with two different variables I, J. Okay, I, J are the variables. I is for text and J is for the pattern. Okay, so both the pattern and the text is going to hold and it is going to handled by variables I and J. Okay, initially I is here. Okay, J is here. What I will search is whether the alphabet in the text, if it equals uh, the text in the pattern. Okay, so this is for text and this is for pattern. I'm going to make use of two different variables to handle this. Okay, to handle this search. Okay, so what is the alphabet A and D? Whether it matches? No. If the letter or alphabet in T of I equals the alphabet in P of J. Okay, so what you will do is you will increment both I and J to check whether the next consecutive alphabet are getting matched. Okay, so you have to move I, J. Okay, else or otherwise, if the particular pattern is not matched with the text that it is we have, okay, you have to move the pattern. You have to move the pattern to right. Okay, so that whether that particular match is going to be available in the next consecutive set of text that we have as input. Okay, so you just see in this example whether A and D matches. No, A and D does not matches. Okay, so at that case you have to move the pattern towards the right. So I will just move the pattern over here. Okay, D, E, F. I'm just moving the pattern. This is my pattern. Okay, I'm going to move the pattern towards the right, one step ahead. Okay, so now check whether the pattern is getting matched. So now my J is here. Okay, I is going to be in this position. I'm going to start the I because this particular condition has failed, right? So I should not again match this, try to match this A and D because we have already checked this particular pattern A and D, which is mismatched. Excuse me. Okay. So I have this D. D is matched with D. The pattern is getting matched. No, the match is failed. Okay. So once again, what I will do, I will move the pattern. Okay, I'll just write it over here. D, E, F. I'm moving the pattern over here. Now, what is the where the value of I is there? I has been also moved here because this A and B does not match with D. Already this both this characters are mismatched. So I will start from here. D and C, whether it is matched? No. Unfortunately, we don't have that particular pattern. D and C is also there is a match. There is a mismatch is there. So what you have to do? You have to move the pattern to the right. I'll just write it over here. Okay, I'm going to move the pattern over here like D, E, F. Now you check D and D gets matched, move I and J. You check for the match, move I and J, check for the match. So this particular pattern is found at the position 4. Okay, in the position 4, this particular pattern D, E, F is found. So this is how a brute force, the basic algorithm will work. Okay, so I will tell you some of the worst cases where this brute force algorithm will fail. Okay, I'll take another example. Okay, the text is going to be A, B, C, D, A, B, C, and then A, B, C, D, F. I have a pattern text like this. Now the searching pattern, P means the pattern which I am trying to search. Okay, have that in your mind. A, B, C, D, F. Okay, so let me give some numbering 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I'll just number it here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what will happen? The same algorithm, the same basic algorithm I'm going to give you. Okay, so the text I, if it matches with patterns I, J, okay, the same algorithm is going to work. Okay, so now you see here, I and A, I is here, J is here, I is here, J is here. This is getting matched. Okay, so I will move here, J will move here. Okay, it is getting matched. Okay, I and J matches. Again, what is happening? C and C getting matched, D and D is getting matched, but obviously A and F is not getting matched. Okay, so now what will happen? You have tried to match this pattern, it has failed. Okay, now you will move this particular pattern shift by one position. So A, B, C, D, F. Again, you will check for this particular pattern. By moving this pattern with the text, you will check B and A not matched. Okay. So what you will do? Again, you have to move the pattern towards A, B, C, D, F. Okay. If you look into this particular example, you have to shift like this. Again, A, B, C, D, F. Obviously, there won't be a pattern match. Okay. Because once the pattern is getting unmatched with the text, okay, you are not looking into any other sub pattern which can be found. That is the thing you have to understand. You are simply moving this pattern one step, shifting towards the right, and you just keep on checking by keeping this patterns template with the text. Okay, again, here also fails because first text itself is getting failed. Yes, C and A is failed. D and A is also failed. Now again, you're going to go with A, B, C, D, F. You see here again, A is getting matched with A, B is getting matched with B, C is getting matched with C, but what happened? A is getting matched with, it's not getting matched with D. So once again, what you will do? You will go for A, B, C, D, F. You will go for like this A, B, C, D, F. Okay. And in one stage, I think it will come here correctly. A, B, C, D, F. So obviously, the thing is, we have already checked for A, B, C, which has been matched. Okay, here is where our first failure. Even though I got a match over here, okay, I have to check for another D and F, which got A, B, C, D. Okay, both this particular sub string is available over here. Why can't I check for, is there any other substring which matches in the upcoming text? That is the drawback of this basic algorithm. We will not look into any form of patterns. We will not check for any form of patterns which is going to be upcoming in the text. Okay, so we will be simply keep on shifting our pattern towards the right. For example, if there is some 100 characters are available, you see, there are some 100 characters are going to get available, and you have that particular match only on the last 5 characters in this 100 length text. That is an abrupt failure. Okay, this brute force algorithm, this basic algorithm is going to be an abrupt failure, and the very important point you have to keep it in your mind is this basic algorithm will not study the pattern that is going to available. What is pattern actually? What is a pattern? Can anyone tell me what is the pattern that you can infer from this text? Yes, dear students, can you tell any pattern which is repeating in the text? Can you identify such patterns? Tell me. I will start with A, B, C. I can found. Okay, in the position 1, I can found. I can find in position 5, in position 8. I can find A, B, C. Am I right? Is there any other pattern that you can find? Tell me. Yes. Dear students, tell me. Can you find any other pattern from this text? Yes, tell me. How many students are there? Nearly 59 students are in this class. But no one is giving any response. Shall I wind up this class? Am I audible to you? Are you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm audible, right? Yes, tell me what is the other pattern which is available? See, what is the use of having this class? Why people are sitting here in this class? At least give me some response.
Ma'am, ABCD, ABCD.
Yes, A, B, C, D. I'm not asking any hypothetical question, just some simple question I'm asking in this class. Why can't you reply? Yes, A, B, C, D is there, A, B, C, D is there. Any other pattern?
AB,
Yes, A, B is
and CD,
available. Yes, and then
CD.
B, C, D is available. So you can, that is, the basic algorithm will not look into this pattern, because why an algorithm should study this pattern? Can anyone tell me? Because can anyone tell me what is the reason your algorithm should study these patterns?
Ma'am, so that
Because
you can proceed to get the final, the
yes,
target.
obviously that is the right answer. If it already studied some pattern that may exist in the upcoming text, okay, for example, if ABC is not matched here, ABC, for example, you see here, ABCD is matched here, okay, but after that F is not matched. Now, instead of just moving one step ahead, you look for any other ABCD is coming in the upcoming text. Is there any other pattern which is available in the upcoming text? I can find ABC here. I can find ABCD here. So I can straightly shift the pattern to this position like ABCDF. Even though if I find a failure over here, you just look for next upcoming pattern where I can match exactly with the pattern that I am looking for. See, instead of moving one step ahead, I can straightly move to this place A, B, C, D, F. So that how many steps are required over here? Nearly order of M is going to be the length of the text and N is going to be the length of the pattern. So big O of M into N number of steps is involved for identifying a substring in this given string. But if I go for this type of pattern identification, I can reduce the number of times I have to shift the pattern. Okay, so that is what we are going for, an algorithm called as KMP algorithm. Okay, KMP algorithm. I will give you another example. This is the text. Okay, at least if you have understood, I'm okay with that. But if you don't understand, if you don't answer, means it will be really a big issue for me. Okay, this is going to be the text. This is going to be the pattern. Okay, A B. Okay, so now tell me what are the pattern which is available here. Okay, so usually if I go with the same algorithm, I can search match this, match this, match this. I can match this. Here a failure is there, so I will again go to A B. Okay, unwantedly I'm just moving this to the place. Again I will go for A B. See, in all the places this will get matched. Am I right? And then this will get matched. Am I right? And then this will get matched. Am I right? And if I go this way, A, B, what will happen? This particular pattern here, up to this, there will be a match. Am I right? In this way, this three matches are unnecessary because we have already found this particular pattern, A, which is already matched with the text. Is there any other A? Okay, that particular pattern is coming on the upcoming text. Yes, we can find. Here we can find. This we can find a match. Here there is a match. Okay, but the thing is, whether there is a forthcoming content along with A, B is going to be our task. So you just look for any content which has A, which is ended with B. So yes, I have a match here. So instead of moving through all this way, what I can do is I can simply go and place my pattern over here where I can find this particular A, which is ended with B. Okay, so here is a match, here is a match, and here is a match, and here is a match. This is how it will study the pattern on the upcoming, this forthcoming text. Okay, and it will match exactly with the pattern and will check the pattern. Okay, and it will return the result of where that particular text is available. Okay, so this is the basic algorithm behind KMP algorithms. This is what we have seen in the last class. I'll just showcase this example. Okay, KMP is nothing but Morris packed with algorithm. Okay, KMP algorithm. So what this algorithm will actually do is it will identify, it will take a pattern. Okay, it will take the pattern and it will take the text. Okay, and it will identify all the prefixes and suffixes. Let me just go over here. Okay, it will KMP algorithm. I'll give you a small example. Okay, I'm not going to trace this algorithm anyhow. This is going to be the pattern A, B, C, D, A, B, C. Okay, so in the text there will be some content will be there. A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A. Okay, so it will identify all the patterns in the text, and also it will identify all the prefix in the pattern P. Okay, text pattern. Okay, what is the prefix value? Prefix means started from the left to right. A, AB, ABC, ABC, ABCD, and so on. Okay, many prefixes can be identified. Identify what is the suffix. What is the suffix? Okay, so it is going to be suffixes like started from left, started from right to left. Okay, C, BC, ABC, and then DABC. So like this, you'll be having, you read the pattern. Okay, you read the particular substance that you are going to search in the main text, and you check whether there is any match between the prefixes and suffixes that you have. That means from forward direction, if I look for some text, okay, and also the text that I'm looking for from the reverse direction, is there any common term which is available? See here, I am having ABC here, I am having ABC here. when I'm deriving the prefixes and suffixes, is there any matching substring is available that will match the prefix and suffix? Yes, I have ABC and ABC. So in the main text, it will check for whether ABC is available somewhere else, so that it can straightly go and place the pattern over with this three letters. For example, I will have ABC, ABC. Okay, so this is the text that I'm going to look for. This is the pattern that I'm going to look for. ABC, ABC. Let me just add over here, D over here. Okay, so what this KMP algorithm will do is, it will not start from 1, this, 2, 3, 4 like that. It will not stop. It will just look for any pattern which has, where it will look for the text which has this consecutive characters ABC there. So I can find here. Here I can find ABC. Is there any other place where again ABC can be found? Here I can find ABC. So it will go and straightly place the pattern ABC, D, A, B, C, and will check for the pattern whether it is matching or not. Yes, it got matched. So see how many steps we have reduced. So this is the logic behind KMP algorithm. Okay, do you understand this particular concept? I'll just show the small this particular table you're deriving this, right? This is called as identifying this pattern, that is called as prefix function. Prefix function. Okay, so for a given text and pattern, it will identify the prefix function. Prefix function means, is there any pattern that I can find from the text, from the forward direction and reverse direction? Is there any common term which is common set of pattern which is available? It will check for it and it will try to match it and place that particular pattern over the text straightly, and it will do that. Okay, this is the concept behind KMP algorithm. Okay, you look into this KMP algorithm. Okay, so what this algorithm will do is, it will apply this prefix function for a particular pattern, and it will encapsulate the knowledge about how the pattern matches against the shift of itself. Okay, so if there is a pattern like this, A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C. Okay, if I have a pattern like this, so this is what the thing which is identified to be the pattern. So it will check for, this is going to be the pattern. So in the text, it will check for any C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C. Let me just give it as E. Okay, D, A, B, C. Okay, so in the text also, it will check for whether the pattern is available. A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. First, it will try to place this pattern over this particular text A, B, C. So A, B, C, D, A, B, C. Okay, even though if there is a match over here, E and D is not matched. So what it will do means, it will move the pattern and it will place it on the text where the next match is found. A, B, C, D, A, B, C. So this is where the next pattern is found. This is the first pattern which we have identified in the prefix function. This pattern is not matched. You just look for this particular next pattern that we have identified, A, B, C, D, A, B, C. So first A, B, C, it will try to check. A, B, C is checked already. D will be checked. Again, A will be checked. B will be checked. C will be checked. So in this way, this prefix function is the key role. Okay, this is the main logic behind this KMP function, which will study the pattern and it will keep on tracking with this to match this algorithm. Okay, do you understand this concept? Yes. Shall I go to the next thing? This is going to be the logic. The same logic which I have told you here is being given here as a prefix function, and this is going to be the pseudocode for this KMP matcher. Okay, anyhow, I'm not going to trace this algorithm. Instead, you should know how this particular pattern will work. See, if I start with here means this will be unmatched, this will be unmatched. Like this, I have to tell one by one. Instead of that, I am just showing this algorithm. Okay, you can just go through that. Okay, the next algorithm is, I'll just go to the next algorithm.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, KMP thing like prefix and suffix both have common ABC. So ABC would be traced and then the remaining character D would be
It will be matched. See, that is in the pattern is already a substring. Pattern is actually a substring. Okay, you identify another pattern in that particular substring and you're checking whether it is getting matched or not. See, in this example, I'll just to show you this. Wait a minute. See, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, E, A, B, C, A, B, C. So this is going to be my text. Okay. In the pattern that I'm looking for is A, B, C, D, D, A, B, C. A, B, C, D. Okay, so this is going to be my text. This is whether this is a substring of this text. That is the question. Whether the substring is available, in which position is available. If you are going for brute force algorithm, like basic algorithm, you have to repeatedly move one step ahead to check whether the pattern is matched with the text or not. Instead of that, what we are going to do is you identify the prefix and suffixes of this. Okay, you just identify any pattern. Is there any pattern which is occurring? Okay, in this direction also this it should occur. In this from this direction also it should occur. So if I go from this way, okay, A, B, C is occurring. Okay, and I have A, B, C which is occurring here also. Okay, so if I write the prefix for this, what is the prefix for this? A, A, B, C, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, like that it will go. Okay, this is a prefix. I will write the suffix of this C, B, C, A, B, C, D, A, B, C. So like that it will go. So check the whether there is some matching prefix and suffix over here. So I have A, B, C. So this is the pattern using which I can do the do this algorithms, do the searching operation very efficiently. So what I will do means instead of searching for each and every term, I will just look for whether ABC is occurring in the text. You just go in this direction. I can find ABC is occurring over here. I will not stop here. I will again go in this direction. I will check whether ABC is occurring here. Yes, I found first time I found, second time I found this pattern, and also I will not stop here. Again, I will move here and I will find the third match over here. Now, what I will do now, I will place the pattern over the text. A, B, C, D, A, B, C. Whether this is a, here there is a mismatch. So what I will do means I will shift my pattern and place it on the text in this position. A, B, C, D, A, B, C. So here if you see, there is a match is there. So
Yes,
how many number?
like instead of going by one, we are just fixing pointers at specific.
Yes, yes. In
And
this
then,
way we are doing.
okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this, I hope you can understand this algorithm. This is KMP algorithm. Okay. So next algorithm is Boyer-Morse algorithm. This is also for pattern searching, but the only difference is it will be searching not from the left to right, but it will search the pattern from right to left. Okay. You see that? If I'm being given a text like this, okay, this is the text and this is the pattern. Okay, so it has some basic concept. One is identifying a bad character heuristic. That means it will first identify. It will not look for the matching alphabet. Instead, it will look for the non-matching alphabet first. Okay, so the first condition is it will start to check for the pattern from right to left. Right to left. In the previous stage, what we have done, we have started from here only, right? That is left to right. Okay. Now here, the pattern will be searched from right to left. Okay. And whenever there is a mismatch found when we are trying to match from right to left, okay, you are going to shift the pattern until the mismatch becomes a match. Okay. So what you will do means you're going to the text and the pattern. Okay, you're going to place the pattern over here, over the text. I'm going to start from right to left. So in this reverse direction, I will search. So G and G matched, T and T matched, A and G mismatched. Okay. Now I will not stop here. I will check for whether there is a matching A in the upcoming pattern. A and T not matched. A and A matched. So this mismatch that I'm identifying, okay, I will keep on search for whether there is a matching A over here, and I will shift the entire pattern towards like this A. This A will come here, this T will come here, and then the same thing will come here. T, G, T, G will come here. So I will shift the pattern in such a way that, okay, this is out like whether there is a matching character which I got mismatched currently, so that just assumption that there might be a pattern which got matched, because if I do have a pattern like this, okay, A is going to be available here. Okay, so obviously this particular shift will obviously give me a match. Okay, so what is the first condition is, you have to identify the mismatch and you have to move the pattern until this mismatch is going to become a match. Okay, so I will have G, C, A, T, G. Okay, G and G is not matched, T and T is matched, G is not matched. Okay, so what I will do is, this is not matched, so I will check for this match is there. No. Whether this match is there, yes, there is some match is going to be available here. So I will move the entire pattern so that it will get aligned with this matching A. So this A will come here. Okay, before the T is there. Okay, and then again T, G, T, G is going to be available. So it will start from, again it will start from matching from right to left. Okay, so this is the first case. This is one of the case. Okay, so you see here bad character rule. That means this is this bad character heuristics. We will see one example. Okay, C and C matched, G and G matched, T and T is matched, C and T not matched. So it will look for whether there is a T. C is here, no mismatch. T, no mismatch. C, yes, I got it. So I will shift this entire pattern that will get aligned with this matched C. So where is that matching C? This is the matching C. See here, this C and this C is getting matched, right? So I will align the pattern in such a way that this C and this C will get matched. Okay. No, I am just going to see C is coming as it is. C is here, C is here, and all other things are coming as it is. Now again, I will start from the right. Okay, C and C is matched. A and A is not matched. A and G is not matched. So if there is any other A where I can match? No, 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 no. There is no A here. Nothing is getting matched. So in this case, what I will do for this particular place where I got matched, I will shift the entire pattern towards the right. Okay, I will shift the entire pattern towards the right, so that because there is no other character which can be sub patterns can be matched. There is no hope in this side. In this particular side, there is no A. Okay, so obviously it means that no use of searching in this particular direction. Okay, so I have to move the shift the entire pattern towards the right, and I will look for the particular pattern. So this is for the concept of bad character heuristic. That means a mismatch will become a match. Okay, and if there is no match found on this particular direction, okay, there is no use of searching for the particular pattern in this direction. So you shift the entire P moves past mismatched character, and you have to align the entire pattern towards the next set of value where you can find out the match. Okay, that means the entire this is going to get shifted to the next position. Okay, so that is the idea behind this bad character heuristic. Next situation is pattern move past the mismatch character. Okay, so what you will do is you will look up for the position of the last occurrence of mismatching character in the pattern, and if the character is not existing, okay, you have to shift the pattern past the mismatching character. See here, this entire C and G there is no use or there is no match over here. If you look into this, so what you will do, you will shift this entire pattern to this place. To this place you will shift. Okay, this is the concept of mismatched character. Okay, is there any C here? Is there any C here? No, there is no C. Here there is no C. Whether any G, even though if we have G, we will not check it over here because this particular two pattern search matching is failed, right? So we will ignore this. So instead, we will move the entire pattern towards here. You see this example. We have C is here, A is here, T is there. We have another interesting solution for this. Good suffix rule. Good suffix. You identify a pattern which is expected to occur in the text and the pattern itself. Okay, TAC, TAC. I have told you, right? TAC, TAC is here, right? So we have several TAC. This type of TAC is there. Okay. This is KMP algorithm. This is Boyers-Morse algorithm. Okay. C and C is getting matched. A and A is getting matched. T and T is getting matched. Okay. C and T is getting matched. It is getting unmatched. Okay. So what we will do over here is whether this suffix, okay, this substring pattern is occurring in the in this direction. Whether TAC is occurring, this suffix is going to be occurring or not. See, I can identify TAC over here. So what I will do now, I will just shift the entire pattern so that it will align with the matching TAC because C and T is getting unmatched, right? So you look for any other substring is getting available in my upcoming search. So TAC available. So I will align this TAC in such a way that actually where this TAC is there. This is the actual TAC that I was, okay, this is the actual TAC that I was searching. Okay, this is the TAC that I have here. Okay, I have aligned this TAC and this TAC, this TAC and this TAC I have aligned. Okay, this is going to the TAC which is available here. Okay, this TAC and TAC I will align and I will check for whether the particular pattern is available. Again, what happens, there is a mismatch over here. So what I will do, again, I will look for whether any C is going to be available in this particular pattern or not. Okay, again, I will move and I will keep on tracking the algorithm to find until the match has been found. Okay, so at last, this will be found in this particular position. At last, we have to move it. We will found this in this particular position. Okay. So this is the idea behind this Boyer-Moore algorithm. See in this example, okay, B and B matching, A and A is matching, and then A and B is not getting matched. Okay, you check for whether any A is available over here. Yes, we have this. So align this pattern and this pattern. So this is nothing but this A and A. Okay, we are aligning the pattern, moving the pattern in such a way that, and again what we have C and A which is mismatched. So what you will do, is there any A here? No, there is no such A. So you move the entire pattern towards the right. Okay, this is one case. Okay, and then you see here B and B matched, A and A matched, B and B matched. Now what we will do, is there any AB which is there is a sub pattern which is available in our pattern in our upcoming text, like this AB? Yes, we have an AB over here. So you align this and this, just align this and this. So this is going to be your AB. This AB will be aligned with this AB. Okay, so in this way you will be shifting your pattern, okay, which needs to be aligned with the sub pattern which you can identify in the text and you can find the search. Okay, so this is the very interesting algorithm. Okay, I think even in our lab we can try this algorithm. Okay, so I think dear students, with this we will complete this KPN algorithm. Okay, what is the time now? It is going to be 9:48. Sure. Okay, so you have any doubts in this algorithm? See, these two algorithms I'm going to do, which has been included in our syllabus as well. So you just have a look into it. I will do one thing, instead of lab, I will give you as this in the part of digital assignment 2. Okay, you have to track one algorithm. trace the algorithm and you can find the substring. Like that, I will give you a small assignment so that it will be even helpful for your CAT 2 or FAT exams when we are looking into it. So this is the idea behind this KMP and Boyer-Moore algorithm. Okay, for pattern searching. Yes, yes.
Ma'am, that Bayes-Moore algorithm, in that are we traversing taking a block size in our mind?
No, we are not considering the block size at all. That's not a problem. We are simply going to traverse from right to left. From the see, you place the entire pattern over the text. Okay, we are not looking into the length of the text or length of the pattern. Until the end of the text, we have to move the pattern. That is not that there is no doubt in that. But still, we are going to simply place the pattern and we are going to search from right to left so that this will keep on moving until the end of it. Okay, in spite of whatever the size of the text is. The advantage of going with this Boyer-Moore algorithm is since we are tracking from right to left and we have these two different rules, right? One is bad character heuristic and this good suffix rule. We can easily identify where this particular pattern is occurring in the text, whether this TAC is occurring again anywhere in the pattern, so that we can align the pattern in such a way that we can quickly identify that particular text. Within a few iterations, you can identify this particular text.
Ma'am,
Okay.
because I got confused because like here the pattern is being placed at this first C, and then in step 2 it is being placed in the next occurrence of C.
Yes, it has been aligned, ma. Actually, you see here. Wait, I will just show you this. What is happening here now? You see. See, I have this T. This got matched. I hope you can understand this. From
Yes.
right to left, I'm getting.
Yes.
C, A, T is matched. Okay. C and T is unmatched.
Yes.
Okay.
Ma'am.
C and T is unmatched. I have a solution that bad match heuristic is there. That means what? Whenever there is a mismatch, I will check for whether this C can occur like this. Okay, see whether there is a C which is occurring like this. So I can align. I will do like this. C T T A C A T. So I have matched in such a way that this C and this C can
Yes.
be matched. Okay, this is one solution. This is one solution. Another solution that that is another algorithm. It will take this this also. Okay, this type of solution is also possible. Better solution for which will run in the same algorithm is it will check for whether this matched pattern, which was previously checked and it was satisfied with the text and the pattern, is occurring in the forthcoming pattern. That means in the forthcoming pattern, whether this TAC is available. So what it will do now, I am identifying TAC once again in my pattern, which is already matched with one of the pattern in my actual text. You got it? Okay, so
Yes.
what it will do means it will align this TAC to get matched with the text T. Okay, so this TAC will come here. This TAC is come here. I have another TAC is here. So TAC, TTAC, TAC, TTAC is here. And I have before TC is there. So you see here, this TAC and TAC will get aligned. And it will again check from the right to left. Do you understand? See here,
Yes.
from here we have C and C matched, A and A matched, T and T matched, T and T matched. And then C and T here, there is a mismatch. Again, it will check for whether any C is available over here. So it will try to align with the C to get that particular match. Okay, so in this way it will keep on. This is one of a step where this particular condition can be satisfied. This will keep on getting iterated towards by shifting this pattern this this way, and it will finally find out in one place like this C double T A C double T A C. So here it will find it.
So ma'am, like at a time we need to execute only one I mean bad match heuristic or good suffix, or can we combine both of them while approaching the
Yes,
problem?
both of the suffix rules, that is this bad match heuristic and good suffix heuristic, both will run parallel, both will run. Anyhow, both will find out the matching pattern where it has been identified, where it can be found. Okay.
Okay, so whichever enables us to find the pattern faster, that
Yes, in a very faster way, you can find out the pattern.
okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so this is the idea behind that. So, dear students, just type in your register number and you can leave the class. I will take your attendance by checking your numbers. Okay. Thank you, students.